Good afternoon, and welcome to Civic Action. My name is Jackie Morrissey, and tonight we have two very special guests, heroes in the community, that are very concerned about a situation that's going on in our Newton schools. And I'd like to introduce them now, Mr. Tony Peluso and Margot Einstein. Thank you very much for coming by, and I appreciate you coming.
Thanks, Jackie. I'm a parent of a Newton sophomore, my daughter who initially brought this to my attention. I've got three daughters, beautiful, smart daughters, all going through the Newton school system or have already graduated. My oldest daughter already graduated. I've got a daughter in Bowen and then my daughter in South. So first week of October, right between Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, my daughter brought to my attention this article from the Arab World Notebook that she was given as part of a history test, history class on women in the Arab world. And on one page is a paragraph that says that Israeli soldiers are, Israeli occupation forces are imprisoning, torturing, and killing Arab women by the hundreds. A little bit about my background. I'm a dual national, Israeli and American, as are all my kids and my wife. My wife's born in Israel. We've got a lot of family in Israel. And in Israel, it's a citizen army, so everyone serves. So, you know, for a statement like this is very, very inflammatory, besides being just pure propaganda. My daughter came to me and said, "Daddy, is this true?" She was very concerned. I assured her that it wasn't, and figuring that this must be just an oversight by the history department at South, I said that I'm going to give the school a call and get this straightened out. I fully expected, Jackie, when I called, that I would be told that, geez, we didn't catch this and this shouldn't be in the curriculum. That was my full expectation. I was very wrong with that expectation. I reached out to the teacher who's teaching the class. She was adamant that the...
That's Miss Ingle?
That's Miss Ingle, yeah. She was adamant that the material was appropriate, had been fully vetted, and that the curriculum was going to stand as it was. And she asked me what my goals were, and I said, I simply want this part of the curriculum removed, and an apology should probably be issued to the kids and the parents of the kids who brought home this article. And she just said straight out, that's not going to happen. And
she's the head of the history department.
No,
right?
She's the teacher. She was the teacher of the history department. So then I went up to her boss, and who's the head of the history department, and basically got the same answer, that this was fully appropriate, it had been vetted, it was going to stay in the curriculum, nothing we could do about it. But I could, if I wanted to, come in and meet with her and the principal. You know, I felt the entire meeting that I was being baited to come out with maybe inflammatory or what would be considered maybe right-wing statements or something like this. Almost like when I walked into the room with the principal of South, he already had me pigeonholed for a certain type of character. And I obviously didn't play into that. But he was rather disrespectful. He came out with some very strange statements, some lies, and some accusations that were just outrageous, accusing me, asking me when I first sat down if I had called the teacher a crazy anti-Semite, which I absolutely, unequivocally had not. In all my meetings with them, Jackie, it was nothing. I never heard about the best interests of the students. I heard about the best interests of the administrators of the school.
How many kids in your daughter's class?
There's 20 or 21 kids. Not one kid came out and spoke up against this. But some other kids did come up to my daughter after reading the article in the Tab and gave her a pat in the back and said, "Good for you." See, we believe in what you said, but yet they were fearful of coming out. And to the teacher, against the school, to say that this is untrue. It's wrong. It's wrong and it's untrue. It's propaganda. It's a blood libel. It's a lie. So, you know, I was pretty upset and I'm by no means an activist per se, but when reading this, I was very upset because being Israeli and having a lot of family in Israel, I notice in the world today that lies are being repeated over and over and over, besmirching Israel, besmirching the armed forces of Israel. Anything to do with Israel lately now it's all bad. And you can't stand up for Israel anymore without looking like a radical to some folks. But I said to my wife and I said to my daughter, I'm going to do something about this because someone has to. Someone has to stand up, bring this to the attention of the school, and this has to be removed from the curriculum. There's no way that this can stand. And that's what I endeavored to do, and that's what I did. I contacted the mayor. I tried to contact the superintendent of schools. I spoke with the mayor, Mayor Warren, the day that this all occurred. And, you know, I've got to say, he listened to me. He seemed very understanding. He explained to me that he'd been an intelligence officer in the Navy, naval intelligence, and that he was stationed in the Middle East for over a year, and that he said to me, I've seen with my own eyes the kind of damage that these hatreds can do. And he returned every one of my calls and was very courteous and seemed to really understand and take interest in what I was saying. And I know he did follow up on it because after that I received calls from the assistant superintendent, the meeting with the school principal, and he did follow up and make sure that all those were done. So he was proactive on it. You know, he did respond.